We're now reaching the business end of this course. We're almost finishing this short piece of music, and by now you should have a really good idea of how you can create your own music in GarageBand for the iPhone and the iPad. But one thing we haven't really covered is that our song is only 8 bars long. In real time, that's probably somewhere between 10 and 20 seconds, depending on the beats per minute. We want to be able to do some arranging on our song because most released songs are usually a lot longer than 10 to 20 seconds. So we have a 4-bar introduction here, a nice little build-up that we've created, and then we have 4 bars of the actual track. I actually want this section to be a bit longer, so I can go to this little plus icon right here on the top right-hand corner. And this is where we access the song sections. So this current section, I want it to be a bit longer. I want this to actually be, I'm going to manually do this, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I want this to be 12 bars in length. And then you'll see it's automatically stretched out and looped the things that were already looped. So it's kind of a little bit intuitive. It guesses at what you might want to do. But I also want this section here to be looped, so I'm going to do that. And I want this section to be looped as well, so I'm going to double click on that and select loop, and here as well. So let's have a quick listen to what we've got so far. So then that 4 bars that we just listened to will now repeat because I've made this section a bit longer. But we can add more than one section. So we might call this the introduction or the verse or something along those lines. And then we can hit this plus button again. And instead of changing the length of this section, we can either duplicate that section or add a brand new section. If I add a section, it defaults to 8 bars in length, and I can hit the little info icon right there to manually change the length of that. But if I select done, you'll now notice that we can't really see any of the regions that we had, apart from it's automatically looped some of these drummer regions. So to get back to the section A, I swipe towards there, and you'll see that little A there. And then once I've swiped a little bit, I can push it a bit further and it will click over to that first section. And I do the same. I swipe there and then flick it, and it will go back to this section. I can delete this section if I like by going back to the song sections with that plus and selecting edit. Under edit, I can delete a section, or I can also grab and hold and move it. So let's do a little bit of arranging. Let's duplicate this section right here. So it'll be section A and B, and I'll select done. So now section A and B are exactly the same. Now I'm going to make section A only 4 bars long, and I'll call that the introduction. So I'll go back to this plus icon right here, and I will hit this little I, the info, and I'll change this to 4 bars. So now I have the introduction right here, which is 4 bars in length. And if I swipe right, now I have section B. And another way that I can switch between sections is just going back to the song section menu with the plus. And I can just tap on section B twice, and it will take me there. So now that section A is the introduction, I want to do a little bit of cleaning up here and get rid of the introduction from this part of the song section. So I'm going to delete these regions because I don't need them. And then I'm going to drag these other regions back to the start like this. And then I can make this 8 bars long with the song section menu. So hit this little info there again and make this 8 bars. Now I've got a 4-bar intro and an 8-bar verse. I can go ahead and create another section if I like, by duplicating that section there. And then I could change this section here. This could be the chorus, and I could make some alterations or add in some new things here. And if I want to see my entire track, all I do is go back to the song section menu and select all sections. And then that will show me everything I've got on the one screen. So that's a little bit about arranging and using the song sections to create a full track.